It is August 21, 2024. Do we have anybody that signed up to? I'm sorry, I'll grab it, Lori. No? Nobody? Okay. All right, so, uh, this one. What's that? We don't sign up for this one.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do. I thought so.
Yeah, they should, if they want to speak about the levy, they should sign a paper.
Okay. Let's see. Well, the proposed rate is 0.242. Is there any thoughts, discussion, anything that anybody wants to uh, talk about before we
Close the hearing.
close the period and move on to our regular meeting?
I do.
You do.
I'll probably be the only one, but let me just say, okay, my numbers for this column here, this number,
2024.
2024 tax revenue, 5,699,887. I was thinking that was 5,102,000. That's what my numbers got. Did you guys check that?
Sorry, it was collected actually, or?
The at 0.224,
Okay, math.
the math came to 5,102,000, and I was thinking it was 5,100,000 that we voted on last time. But anyway, so if that is the case, it's that's quite a jump from 5,100,000 to 5,800,000. Let me just say my piece, and then we can, if you guys want to discuss it, we can just vote. If we kept it at 2.22, let's see, we kept it at 0.224, we would have a $300,000 increase. Okay, if we just kept it the same, we would still have a $300,000 increase. It's $5,401,742. If we drop the current levy 1 cent, we would still generate about $60,000 more than what we did this year. And it's about, it says proposed tax rate on the far right, 8% increase, which isn't very much, but we have 8 taxing jurisdictions, and if everybody increased them 8%, that can be a significant number for each household. So anyway, I was just wondering if we kept it the same, we would still generate $300,000 more than this current year. And if you guys want to raise it, that's fine. I'm just thinking.
It's supposed to be even year, where if we reduce it, it's there permanently until we take action. More steps.
Yes, we'd have to go through more steps
To raise it back up.
to raise it back up. Where the one we did last year was just for this
Temporary.
year. Yes.
So if we kept it the same,
Then-
what about next year?
What's that? Then if we were to make it different than what the 0.242 or keep it at the 0.224, then that will be at least for 2 years, right? No, it's just until it is that way. It can't be changed unless we go through.
It becomes the new base.
It becomes the new base unless there is a channel. I think she talked to us
Harrisonville's
about.
actually going through that right now. 9 years ago, they lowered, or they did not raise their levy. And now they are going back because every year they get a report from the state saying, you would have got it, but this is what you get. And they were explaining that it's quite a convoluted mess and there's no way to ever take those numbers off. And so they're going back to get it back to where it should have been, and that way there's no confusion with the state. But they have to have a vote Monday night, then it has to go to the state auditor's office, who has to approve it. They have to send them a letter explaining why they're raising the rate over a certain amount, And then the state has to sign off on it, and then if they approve that, then it comes back to the city and they vote again. And it's really quite a hoop-de-loo. And when you're looking at 1 cent, you're basically looking at $1.70 on your property tax.
Yeah, I pulled out mine just to do the math, because, 8% looks scary and a 2% increase for us, but, we are by far the smallest when you start looking at the
It's
tax.
very
levy.
small. Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I looked at mine from last year, and if we would have increased it this much, it's a 0.28% increase in my taxes. If
Yeah, right.
if we do the full.
Yeah,
So it looks like we're increasing it a lot, but it would have upped my bill by 37 cents.
yeah, it's not, I'm just saying, if each, if the hospital says, or the ambulance says just 8%, or, if each one just does the 8%, anyway.
Well, the income limit keeps you from going. That's what you could increase it by.
And I think the key word on that 2024 line is actual. So yes, we anticipated 5,100,000.
So we actually got about 5.7.
If with everything combined, also the new construction, does that help raise that actual? I've been trying to do it on my
think
calculator
that
and I don't
actually
have enough
reduces-
spaces. But
And I think you actually have to subtract the new construction because
Okay.
it's not gonna be, it's new this year, it's not gonna be
Okay.
assessed
Next year.
until
So
the
different
next one.
construction.
Right.
assessed on the-
So it was included in the assessment
and we got these numbers from Chris Mullender or from the
from
state,
the clerk.
from the clerk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's all we
Clerk's
can work
office.
with.
That is all we can work with, yeah.
Yeah, and how they came up with that. I think to me, last year I had some questions in my mind and I just promised myself that I'm going to understand things better, but that I would be on board if the library, if I can say, hey, the library wants to do these things, like this, we need money to be able to do these things, and the taxpayers have said, you guys can have as much, up to this
Up
amount,
to that amount.
then I am super excited about the capital improvement plan that we're working on. Yes, we don't have solid numbers at this point, but I think in order to be able to work with some better numbers, we need to know what we have the capacity for. And so I'm good to go with the 242.
Can I say then we call for a vote?
We're not going
We
to vote
don't
on
vote
it
here.
here.
Oh,
We're going to close this and then it'll be something that we vote on in our actual regular meeting.
I
It's
make,
not how we were supposed to do it last year, but or it's the better way to do it. So,
I make a motion, we close the hearing.
all right, I'll entertain a second.
Oh, second.
All right, the motion is to close the public hearing. We'll take a roll call vote. Dennis?
Aye.
Becky?
Yes.
Sherry?
Aye.
Diana?
Aye.
Tanya, yes. Okay. Now we will open I will call to order the regular monthly meeting for August 21 for the Cass County Public Library Board of Trustees. Wait, we've got a flag back.
We do.
We don't need we.
I bought that as soon as
What'd you say?
I bought it as soon as the meeting ended last night.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda that we received in our mailer.
I make a motion to approve the agenda as written.
And I'll second that.
All right, all those in favor of approving the agenda as written, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Okay. I will now entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda unless there are questions. Sorry, we'll ask if there's anybody that has any questions with respect to the financial reports, the payables for the month.
I have just a couple of questions. Just so I'm more familiar with some of these, payables.
Yes.
So I'm expecting a really short little description of what some of these people do. Amigos.
Amigos. Okay, so that is the membership in Amigos gives us access to be part of the MoLib to Go consortium, for Overdrive. So we share Overdrive with a bunch of libraries in the state of Missouri through our membership in Amigos and being part of the consortium. Among other things, like we get discounts and training and that kind of thing as being part of Amigos, but that's essentially the biggest thing that we
And
get
that's
from
the
being a member.
electronic books.
Yes,
Yes,
and e-audiobooks and
right.
And the Amigos charge this month is the webinar training, that's the extra stuff we were
yes,
talking about.
that's the.
Gotcha.
Okay, how about MoreNet, University of Missouri?
So a lot of schools and libraries in the state go through MoreNet to like secure our network and like our internet. They get us discounts, contact discounts with internet providers and things like that. They also provide tech support and training. They host like our website, like our server and stuff like that. And so that's part of being a lot of memberships have come due this month.
Yeah,
So
so just
you're
accessibility.
getting to learn about
Yeah,
all of those.
well, when it's a bigger number, I thought, well, I don't know what that is. Some of these are really self-explanatory. And some of these, I don't know what that means. I don't. How about when we talk about the Commerce Bank commercial card? Is that just our credit card?
Yes, so a lot of the supply purchases that we'll make, we'll do on the card.
With respect to that, so as the treasurer, Becky is responsible for
I saw the whole bill.
looking at the bill
I
before.
saw the whole bill. Many things were like cleaning a trap out at Pleasant Hill, things like that that needed to be paid on a more timely basis. A lot of the gas bills for the bookmobile and our courier service and things like that are done on that credit
This
card.
would be the next question, where's that ledger? But if you're looking at it, that's
Yeah, so basically whoever's gonna sign the checks that month, it's typically gonna be the treasurer, but say Becky's out of town or sick, she might ask one of us to. That would be our responsibility is to, hey, let's go through this, verify all these things, and then if we have any questions, ask those, and if there's anything of concern,
They
we
have,
would bring
they
it
have the
to the
actual
board.
bill, plus she has a spreadsheet over at the side,
Yeah,
an Excel running to show which goes, I could see when Zach used his and when Robin and different things like that. And then Robin's looked at it before I look at it.
okay, perfect.
and anytime you wanna look at them,
Yeah.
obviously you can, so. Right?
That's good questions.
Yes, I feel like we're back to like Becky, like 3 years ago when I was when I was first asking all my questions.
Because those are bigger numbers, Mike.
Yeah,
But
I mean, it's like,
I'm
I'm
service
responsible
provider.
for-
Yeah, sometimes I just want to say, sure, okay, it's not what it was.
Yeah, no, thank you. Any other? So the consent agenda is the approval of the minutes from the regular meeting, all the financial stuff. If there's no other questions or concerns, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So
Second.
All right, all those in favor of approving the consent agenda that we received, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no. All right, great. We're gonna move on to public comment. We don't have any public comment this month, is that? Well, let's move on. We don't have any unfinished business. We've got new business. Thank you, Ted. Thank you, Pat. I was like, come on, Pat. We've under new business, a discussion item is the board bylaws, the addition of the confidentiality article. Did anyone have any questions? Anything they were like, I don't like the way this is worded or whatnot. I mean, we're not going to vote on it tonight because according to our bylaws, we have to have at least 2 readings. But if there's anything we want them to tweak, it would be good to do that now so that, or if anybody has some true objection to it, we can discuss those things.
will this retroactively go to our former board members or is it from this point on?
That's probably a Lindsay question. But my assumption is it's from this point on, because if it wasn't in the bylaws that applied to the board previously, then I don't know how you can retroactively make something.
Right, right. I was just interesting that it
Yeah.
was there.
Yeah. Good question. Wow, there's quiet bunch tonight. All right, well, I don't think that we're gonna it doesn't sound like anybody has any issues, so next month we should be able to have the second notice or however you want to put it that, and we should really vote on it next month.
Okay.
Under action items, you got the tax levy vote. So now is the time, Diana, that we can vote on the tax levy, which the proposed amount is 0.2420.
I make a motion that we accept the recommended rate of 0.2420 as the 2025 tax levy.
I'll second that.
Let's take a roll call vote. This is to approve the 2025 proposed tax levy of 0.2420. I'll start with myself. Tanya, yes. Diana?
No.
Sherry?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Dennis?
Yes.
All right, and it has passed. Okay, next thing on the agenda was the Cass County Information Center representative appointment. Sherry, this was via your request. Tell us what you have in mind.
Well, we're not represented right now, so we need to select a representative.
All right, did you have someone in mind?
Would you like to do that, Dennis?
I would be happy to.
That was my thought. That was my thought was Dennis.
I'm fine with him.
Yeah. Do you want to do it?
No, I'm on the foundation board
Oh,
already.
sorry.
I don't need 2 meetings a month.
So my only question for you, Dennis, is anything with respect to your newspaper and stuff, any sense of confidentiality or whatever that
No, I've got reporters working on stories right now that I'm totally independent from, so,
Got firewalls up and.
yeah.
Good.
So, it's a different hat.
all right.
So
So I nominate, go ahead.
Go ahead. You do.
I nominate Dennis Mick as our representative to the CCIC board.
And I'll second it.
We will take sorry, I'm writing stuff down. Roll call vote. Dennis,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
Diana,
yes.
Tanya, yes. Okay. Wow, we are just moving along.
This is good.
Let's go through the director's report. That's where we are. Holy cow.
Staff changes
Okay,
first.
yeah, we'll do staff changes. I'll tell you what I've got. We had 2 staff changes in July. Atila Tawari moved from a 12-hour library assistant to a 30-hour library assistant at NRC. Lacey Ergen moved from a 20-hour youth specialist at Garden City to a sub there. We continue to have a lot of interviews going on, so we've got until recently had 5 open positions. We have completed 2 of those interview processes, and we'll have those folks in next month's report. And then we're doing interviews for 2 more of those positions this week, the genealogy position and then Harrisonville's 20-hour position on Friday. And IT, I think, is close to scheduling their interviews for that position. Some of the other things that we've been up to this month, we are in the process of starting adding some more notaries to staff members. That's been a very popular service that we've had, so we're hoping to get at least 5 more and then continue to add that as needed.
Is it like someone at each branch kind of the idea, or?
Eventually.
Okay.
It's been very popular at NRC and here.
Yeah.
And then we'd like to have as many as possible. I don't know that we'll have one at every branch immediately, but we needed to add some at places where people have become accustomed to coming in, and especially here because we're so close to the courthouse. I think we get a lot of people walking over to finalize documents.
Cool.
We have museum passes. I presume you've heard of these. We had a partnership before I got here with Prairie Fire Museum to offer free admission for up to 4 people to their museum. And we have now partnered with the Truman Library Museum to offer the same thing. And they were super great to work with and wanted us to offer this, so that's going to start. We'll be passing those out tomorrow, and they should be available for the public by the end of the week. And we finalized our staff development day plans for this year. So October 21st is when we're going to have a day where all of the branches will be closed and we'll meet as an organization in a venue that can hold us, and talk about um, training on customer service, as well as we've got a fun speaker and some fun activities so that we can all be in one place at one time and get to know each other a little bit better too.
And that was funded by the foundation.
Yes.
Yay. Thank you, foundation.
Yeah, for sure. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay. I will go now. So you have the final audit report that was included in your packet. And in the past, our auditor has come and presented this report to the board, and been available if you have any questions about it and whatnot. And we've opted not to do that this year, really, because, well, they have discovered amongst their peers, no one else really does that, and they're not legally required to do it. So now they're going to start charging for that extra time. So if we want to have that, we can have that. But we kind of felt like, at least based on past years, any questions that y'all might have when you read that, we might be able to answer, Lori and I, or of course we could always go back and get the information from the auditors directly and relay that to you. So that's how we've opted to go this time. Again, if you want to do that differently, we can. But do you have any questions for us based on what you've seen there? If you do think of any, I mean, if you don't have any now, that's fine. But if you do think of something, you can.
I can tell the new ones that the segregation of duties and the signature stamps is an ongoing every year. That our signature stamps are in a locked vault or something here. I think
Yeah, our Farber station.
right. And when Lori and a part-time worker are all we have to handle the incoming, outgoing of monies, they always want more segregation. And we've dealt with it for years.
Looking at it, it looked like a pretty clean report.
Yeah, that's
It
really
is.
clean.
Yeah.
Lori does an excellent job
Yes.
keeping records here.
She does. And I will say, like, I mean, there's nothing that the board has to do. It's not like we have to
Right.
approve it or anything. It is just what it is.
Mhm.
So, and unless, I don't think that we're gonna need to have her come and pay that extra fee. Not that she wasn't gonna charge it this year, but starting next year. So going through that process was like, if we have questions, we know who to contact and they'll get the answers for us. So, okay, cool.
Okay. On the capital improvement plan, you've got the bulk of an update there in your packet, based on the facility tour that we took, with Steve. But also I would like to, not only because we have new board members, but also as part of the capital improvement planning process, have all of the board also go on a facility tour together with us. And so I put some dates, some potential dates there, and I wanted to see if we might be able to go ahead and decide which date we want to do that, and we can make the arrangements to get the vehicle, and of course give all the branches a heads up that we'll be coming around, just to kind of see their facilities and talk to the staff a little bit. The dates that I picked are dates that we'd be able to hit all of the branches at times that they're open.
Can you kind of give us an idea of the time frame, like how long you think, what kind of a day that's going to look like? Started
It's a very long day.
8 a.m. to like 7 p.m. kind of a thing.
When we did it with Steve and Brad, we started at 9, and the goal was to spend about 30 minutes per location. And we started here, and then we went through the north branches, and then had lunch, and then went through the south branches. But they were looking at very specific architectural type things, and so some of the places we spent longer, and so we came back a little bit later. I think our intent was to be back here by 4,
Yeah.
but we made it back by 4:30-ish
Oh, okay.
or something. And we had about an
Spent
hour
some
in
time
there for
here
lunch.
too.
Yeah, spent some time here. So I feel like because our tour would be a little more straightforward, just kind of walking through and talking about various things, and that we won't be 30 minutes at each location. So it may go a little bit faster, but it probably will be the majority of the day.
So something like nine, this
Like
point
starting
for like
9.
9 to 5, have that in mind.
Yes, and
Actually leave at 9, or if we start here.
start here at 9.
So,
Plan to have
okay.
some lunch somewhere on the road and during the day.
I don't, the 12th looks really good on my calendar. Is there anybody?
12th
That
doesn't
was
look
the
good on
one.
my
Yeah.
Well,
calendar.
the 16th.
16th
I don't
is
have that here handy. Can
How about the 5th? Well,
If the 12th is the only one, I'll make changes.
no. So this is where like I started with the 12th because the 5th and the 9th are like last resorts for me. But again, like Becky said, like I could
I can change
work
the
some
12th.
things just to make one of those work.
Yeah.
Does the 12th work for everybody else?
No, we're gonna be gone.
Okay, so the 12th doesn't work.
23rd?
That's
That is
the,
a hard no for me.
Okay.
that's the only day I can't. I
Then
can do any day but the 23rd.
Okay.
Okay.
What are your, so what's
I absolutely cannot on a Monday or a Tuesday.
Tuesday?
Okay, so that is 1 Thursday, 2 Thursdays.
2 Thursdays. So it's either the 5th or the 12th. We'll just, I'll change what I'm doing and we can.
I can change mine. Are you here on the 5th?
Oh,
Sure.
yes.
But not the 12th.
On 12.
So then we'll.
Looks like the 5th.
I mean, we can push it to October. This was just if you guys want to try to do this next month.
You know, I would
But we could
actually
push it
come
to
to
October.
request that maybe we push it back to October.
But Mondays are still bad for
Your
you.
Mondays and Tuesdays are
Yeah.
always.
My
That's his
only
work day.
concern about
Yeah.
pushing it into October is, we are gonna be, my next thing that I was gonna approach is, okay, we're gonna be seeing our budget for the first time next month. We definitely need to get at least one work session in right from the get-go to ask questions, go through like Robin will put together like, here's
Okay,
this,
if
so.
5th works for everybody, I think that's okay.
What's the first? I don't. So I was gonna bring my calendar and then I looked at it and sat it on my desk and it didn't come with it.
So it's question the first one.
What's the first weekend? What's the first Thursday in October?
Oh,
The 3rd.
The 3rd.
The 3rd. Because I was thinking like we probably, I mean, sometime either that first or second week of October, we're needing to have a work session before the October meeting. Is everybody available both of those weeks, say either on a Wednesday or a Thursday of both those weeks,
Thursday.
of those weeks? Or either
Wednesday of the second week. but not
Wednesday
Thursday.
or Thursday of the second week,
Mhm.
Thursday of the first week. So the 3rd of October.
well, let me ask, was there anybody that couldn't do the 5th of September?
It's not a great, I'll have to make some adjustments to my
Okay.
schedule to do it.
That's fine.
but-
I was gonna say, if I was the only one holding it up,
Does the 3rd work for everybody?
And that's.
Now, of course, I guess we need to verify, we'll have to verify with
Thursday.
Steve.
Okay, yeah.
Well, he won't go on this one. We'll
He
just
won't,
go.
it'll just be us,
Yeah.
okay. So I'm trying to clarify the 3rd, Dennis,
as far as I know, yeah.
what about October 3rd?
For the workday or for our tours?
For the tours.
Okay.
My driver.
I'm looking, I think I'm good.
You good? Yeah, I think that'd be good. We could do October 3rd.
Okay. Let's write that down, that's Thursday,
Okay.
October 3rd. And then the following week, the 9th or I was looking at the 9th just because it seems like everybody can come on a Wednesday, so.
Yeah.
I was looking at Wednesday the 9th for us to do a first work session for the budget. Does that work for everybody? I'm thinking like we start with 3 hours, like from 5 to 8. Try to see if we can get through it all.
I just will say we all start to shut down after 2 hours. Like from experience, I've noticed that we have a hard time getting through stuff after 2 hours. So, but I feel like this last year, didn't we have like 2 2-hour work sessions and got through the whole thing?
I
Isn't that how
cannot
we
remember.
Was that right, or did we do 3? Because we thought we had to do 3.
Oh, no, that's readings that we were thinking
Oh,
we had
okay,
to do.
that's
Work
right.
sessions.
The thing is, too, I mean, we can always, and it kind of does depend on what else is on the agenda, but there's nothing stopping us from
Discussing.
discussing it during the regular, yeah.
Okay, let's do this then. Let's plan on the 9th, and we'll go from 5 to 7:30. We won't go past 7:30, and then we'll see where we're at.
Okay.
If there's not, by then, I mean, we'll know what's going to be on the agenda for
Right.
October, and if we can potentially, like she's saying,
What time are we starting? 4:45?
We'll start at 5.
5
Yeah.
to 7:30. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, it's down. Thank you. Let's see. Okay. Was there anything else on your? I kind of hijacked it there a little bit. We were doing the tours, and then
Well, we were in a
flipped it to
scheduling
budget.
mode, so
Yes.
that
So,
made sense.
we'll go back to you.
Okay, where was I at? All right.
Facility tour.
Yes, yes, and so when I did do a follow-up meeting with Steve last week, just kind of talking about some of the stuff we observed on the facilities tour and what next steps would be. He's very, very flexible as far as what kind of direction we want to go in with each step. And so I did ask him to go ahead and write up kind of an initial report that I could bring to everyone to talk about what he saw, and what his thoughts were on that first tour and kind of what we need to be thinking of. And one of the big things, and this is why I kind of threw that into your packet, was we really need to start thinking about what are our priorities for our buildings, for our assets. And some of the disparities or issues that we saw when we were going around that were kind of common were things like ADA compliance in a lot of our locations, especially in like restrooms. And so, when you think about capital improvement, yes, you think about like new buildings and renovations, but also there's the maintaining and the keeping up to speed with what we do have. And so we definitely have room for growth in those types of areas. But yeah, when Lee and I were kind of looking in some of the themes that we were seeing was like not all of our places have delineated space for staff to work, for staff to take breaks. We know that there's environmental issues as far as HVAC and water leakage at several locations. Like I mentioned, the ADA. Some of it, the finishes in some of our places are just old that they don't keep clean. There's like, and so they may be clean, but they don't give off the feeling of being clean.
They don't look.
They don't look clean. And so, just if you all would also just start thinking along those lines too. I think once we've gone on the facility tour, once we have gotten that initial report from Steve, and possibly after some community needs assessment meetings this fall in several parts of the county, would be a good time then to plan a work session that's specific to capital planning. Um, so we can really put pen to paper on what is our organizational vision, our priorities for the future for our assets in the county.
So do you think you asked him to do an initial kind of report, right? Writing up do you think he might have that for us to kind of look at before we even go on our tour so that we can kind of get a feel for just the things
Right.
that you're talking about?
Well, that's actually a question for you. Do you want that, or do you want to experience have your own experience, and then see how it compares to what he says? Because, I mean, either way could be fine, but if you see the report first, you might be influenced to think a certain way when you're on your tour, but that also may be helpful for you.
Yeah, he would also see things from an architectural standpoint that we wouldn't see. So
Yeah.
he'd also go, oh, he's right. Look
He's-
right there. You know,
Or be able to actually, see what
Right.
they're
to
talking
see what he's
about.
talking about. I think it'd be nice to have the report if we can.
Anybody else? I kind of like that idea.
I can go either way.
Whatever works.
Okay, let's do that.
Well, I'm gonna know the tours and we'll see what we can, what we can get done, but yeah, and then just a brief update on the NRC, which is they've got that access door installed in the tower, which is the part where the remaining leakage still is from the roof. But I guess it hasn't rained hard enough yet for them to be able to pinpoint where they need to repair. So that's what we're waiting on there.
Anything more up to date than what you reported here with the Royal Street property?
Well, actually, just today, Zach met with the city, so we've got those one permit that we'll be getting, and once we have our schedule for doing the modifications on the garage, then we just need to let the city know, and so we're just kind of moving forward on that. We've got internet up there, the trash is finally set up there. Our Scott in facilities has been building shelving, for storage in there. And so, yeah, I mean, things are moving along.
Will that be part of the tour?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, good. We'll take you all the places.
Awesome. See it. Okay. Anything else? Do you have anything else? There is there anything foundation? I mean, you guys haven't
We
met,
haven't
so
not met again until October.
trustee comments? Anything anyone want? Okay, well, I will entertain a motion to recess to executive session for legal 6.0.031.1.
I make a motion that we recess to executive session legal Missouri Revised Statute 610.021.1.
And I second that.
We'll take a roll call vote to recess. Dennis?
Aye.
Becky?
Yes.
Sherry? Aye. Diana?
Yes.
Tanya?